Welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. I am so excited to welcome you here today. My name is Leda Perez. I am a religious science practitioner here at One Love Center for Spiritual Living. And so as we start every day today, we're going to be talking about our opinions, facts, and the truth. We're very excited to share this time with you today. But first, we're going to start with our song, and it's Heaven. It's always starting the same way with heaven. So I'd like to invite you to choose what you choose for your heaven to be. Whatever that is, write it in the comments. We're excited to have you here. And so now let's go ahead and start with Heaven. Choosing heaven. What did you choose today? Peace, love, heaven, grace? I love it all. And now I'd like to introduce you to Ellen Suazo, our religious practitioner. She's going to tell you about our mission and our vision. Welcome in, Ellen.
Good morning, One Love Center. I'm so grateful to be here with you. So excited that you chose to be here celebrating love, celebrating this day, celebrating this service with us. And so we just want to remind you, if this is your first time to be here with us, then it will be the first time that you will hear this mission. But our mission is to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of the understanding of the spiritual principles and spiritual living. We envision a world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and development of learning and application of spiritual principles. One Love Center practices compassion in service, loving action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. Our community has been lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual films. We welcome you. If this is your first time here as a guest with One Love Center, we welcome those coming back to One Love Center. And also for those of you that will be listening in later on that are not here now, we like to always say that we recognize the splendor of the divine spirit that is you. Please know that we support you in being the best you choose to be in your glorious life. Thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to a place where love grows. One Love Center. So now we bring Leda back.
Hello. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. All right. Well, I have the honor of introducing our guest today. I am so thrilled to introduce to you Pier Angeli. Hi, Pierre. How are you?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
Tell our guests, our viewers, a little bit about you. I love this bio. Pier Angeli is a licensed practitioner emeritus, being a practitioner of science of mind for over 25 years. She has been honored to serve as Center for Spiritual Living's Regional Visioning Coordinator in Northern California and served on its Education Council, helping craft curriculum for spiritual study. Retired now from the joyful gift of being an educator and administrator for 36 years. Wow. She continued her commitment to education and earned her doctorate in educational leadership for social justice. She has lovingly served in many capacities over the past 20 years as a practitioner at the San Francisco Center for Spiritual Living with Reverend Muata Rasuli. Pier Angeli believes that the great river of life flows from the singular source of love, synonymous with spirit, and that the purpose of conscious life is to immerse in the flow of love and allow the presence of spirit to carry us in all things, always. I love that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so very much. I'm excited to be here, and I'm very grateful as well to be here. I want to thank Reverend Rodney. I want to thank you, Leda and Ellen, my fellow practitioners, and the One Love Center for Spiritual Living. It's a real honor to be here.
Well, we really appreciate you taking out your Sunday to be with us and to share. And talking about sharing, I'd like you to be the one who's going to do our evocation, our opening prayer. So I'll
Absolutely.
get out of the way and let you do your thing.
Never in the way. Drawing in a deep breath with me, all within the sound of my voice, this breath of life, this witness to the truth that there is always that which is breathing each one of us, this presence this life we call God, we call spirit. And knowing that this is the only power in the universe, the divine creator that has raised every mountain, that has carved every valley, rooted every tree, and causes all waters to flow. This divine creator has loved itself into existence as my very life, as the life of every living being. And so I declare that heaven is right where each one of us stands, where we move, where we walk, where we breathe. And as we flow through life, as we flow through this day, I know that the truth is that in the midst of all, God is, and all is well. So I declare this service complete in mind, complete in love, complete in life, and that each one of us draws from it exactly what is perfect for us to receive, and that each one of us gives from that place of absolute love. And so I rest in this knowing. Together in one resounding truth, I declare, and so it is, and now it is.
Thank you so much. I love prayer. And to tell us more about prayer, I'd like to bring on our Ellen back, and she's going to talk all about prayer. Ellen.
So, prayer, you just experience an evocation. What does evocation mean? It means that we are evoking the spirit within you because it's already in you. And so all we're doing is remembering who we are and whose we are. And so here at One Love Center, we have prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is full of power, charged, and already within you for your immediate use. So we like to tell you that if you like us to pray for you for a situation, a condition that you have going on, or like Reverend Rodney a lot of times says, if everything is going well in your life and you just want to continue to be in that vibration, in that energy, then still connect with us so that stays within your life. And we have there how you can send your prayer supports. You can email us at onelovecenter.org. And remember that all prayers are kept confidence. We do not share those prayers with anyone. So make sure that you send your prayers, and we will be more than happy to pray for you for 7 days for that situation or condition that you like to change or shift. And if you still want us to continue to pray after 7 days, you will have to continue connect back with us, because otherwise we'll stop praying for that situation. So just remember, prayer is powerful. So take advantage of us. Use us. Use us. And I'll bring Leda back.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And let's bring on Pier Angeli back as well. So prayer support, really important. I love
Yes.
Ellen was saying that even if things are going well, you don't stop praying, you get prayer, right? So today is all about opinion, facts, and truth. So this is our conversation today. And I'm really excited that I'm having this one with you. So we're going to go ahead and start a little bit on that. Sorry. So what I loved is I was speaking with Reverend Rodney, and he shared with me opinion, fact, or truth, the freedom of knowing. All of us know that we have an opinion. We know the facts, and we know the truth. But it's the freedom of knowing all of that. Isn't that true?
Oh, definitely.
Yes. So I'd like to, what we usually do here is we usually start with some quotes that we have. And like to start with the first quote. Would you be able to read that, Pier Angeli?
Yes, I can. Thank you so much. Magic isn't reserved for fairy tales. It lives in your ordinary moments. Start your day with intention, with gratitude, and a heart wide open to wonder. So many things in this world are magical. Take a moment to look around and notice them. And this is Jim Blake, CEO of Unity World Headquarters.
Mhm.
Noticing the
Right.
magic. Mm,
So,
beautiful.
what does this bring up for you, Pier Angeli?
I think that noticing is one of the words that stood out for me, because and gratitude, but noticing, because I think we can go through our lives, particularly when, as my friend likes to say, life be lifing, and things seem to be piling on, and we can move into a place of what can seem like overwhelm, that we can forget to notice the blessings that are all around us, the wonder of life itself. If we stop to think about the very breath and how magical it is, that we don't have to make it happen, that the presence of God within us is always breathing us. How beautiful is that? You know,
That's
yeah,
true. The allowing of it,
the allowing.
of our lives to go through what they need to go through,
Yeah.
no matter what it is. But everything is magical, isn't it? You know,
Mhm.
some of the uh, challenges in our lives, there's some magic happening there because
Yeah.
it's sharpening our saw in a way, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And the noticing part, pay attention. Reverend Muwata of the San Francisco Center likes to say it's the only debt we actually owe in life is to pay attention. Yeah.
I love that. And so we do have a question we'd like to ask our viewers to join us in this conversation. The question is, what ordinary moments in your day hold hidden magic when you pause long enough to notice them? So,
Hmm.
what ordinary moments in your day do you in your day hold hidden magic when you pause long enough to notice them? And I invite those of you who are watching this and those who later on are watching this to answer that question for yourself. What does that bring up for you, Pier Angeli?
Hmm. My mind immediately went to laughter.
Mm.
That when I can be in the midst of almost anything, and then either something strikes me as amusing or funny, and I hear myself laughing, or someone else I'm around, especially if it's children's laughter, and it can take me right out of that moment of forgetting to remember. Forgetting to remember what a blessing life is itself. And when I can be in that place. So laughter can do that for me very easily. Yeah.
You mentioned that, and you said children's laughter. And
Mm.
some of the most amazing moments when I was raising my children is I'd be in the kitchen, getting dinner ready or whatever, or cleaning the house. And then I'd hear my kids start to laugh. And I would pause for that moment because it brought me so much joy that they were in a space that created that laughter, that they could have such a good time. They're laughing out loud, that they were enjoying life. And so there were times that I'll be doing the dishes and hearing them laugh, and it makes me laugh. It brought me joy. So the
Yes.
laughter of children definitely has been such a big thing for me in my life as well. Thank you for
Yes.
bringing that up. That was really
Thank
interesting. Okay, let's go to our next quote here. There we go. And I'll read this one. There is a place within us where thought springs spontaneously from the infinite. By inviting divine ideas to enter and express through our consciousness, we can permit the inspiration of the creative genius of the universe to impart new thoughts, to create new scenes, and to enlarge all our horizons. And this is by Ernest Holmes, Spiritual
you.
Awareness, page 54. I love this. There's the place within
Mm.
us where thought is spring spontaneously. Um, I find myself saying when I'm trying to meditate, and I shared this with one of my children, I said, stop for a moment. And if you're getting a lot of chatter, ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought will be.
Hmm. That's very powerful. Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it lets you go within and lets you release what is becoming that chatter, but and then opening up to that spontaneous message from the infinite.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
do you get from this?
Yeah, I love the words that stand out to me are permit the inspiration of
Mm,
the creative genius to impart new thoughts. You know, it really does require our permission. And
mm,
I think what's wonderful about spiritual communities such as One Life, excuse me, One Love community, and other spiritual communities is that if we can immerse in a community that understands that this permission is what we're really here about, that we can train ourselves to consciously permit it. Because we move through our lives so often unconsciously permitting all kinds of things that aren't necessarily serving our highest good. So when we can still ourselves, and that's what I heard, Leda, you were talking about in meditation, to become still enough to consciously permit the inspiration of the creative genius of the universe. It's a beautiful, beautiful thought. And it invites our practices in, our spiritual practices.
it does, doesn't it? To really, uh, we can't imagine how much larger can we, uh, our horizons be, you know, where we find ourselves sometimes being limited. For those people who are just new to new thought and science of mind, what would you say to them who are trying to create that scenery of greater horizons? What would be the tool?
Yeah. The first thing I would say for anybody who's beginning is to be gentle with ourselves, to be gentle with yourself. I like to say the only place we ever begin a journey is right where we are.
Mm,
So moving into that space, take small steps. You know, find a practice that works for you, such as meditation, becoming still, being in nature, whatever allows us to quiet the chatter
mm,
of the day to day, well, what can be called vicissitudes of life, right? Those things that impact us, and move into a space where we can be quiet enough to begin to hear. Find a community that helps to support that.
right.
I would say those things for sure.
You. Thank you for that so much. And we do have a question on this particular quote. How might allowing the creative genius of the universe to guide your thinking expand your possibilities, perspectives, or next steps in life? I'll ask that question again. And for those of you out there, feel free to comment on our YouTube or Facebook. How
Mm.
might the allowing of the creative genius of the universe to guide your thinking, expand your possibilities, perspectives, or next steps in life? What do you see as your next steps in life? After reading your bio, you have a lot that you've already done, but tell us all. What?
I have to say, I jokingly say sometimes if people ask me, how is retirement? It feels so rhetorical. It's sort of like asking people, how is Hawaii? It's like there are moments when I feel as though I don't know how I fit work into my life. Yeah, I can say that much. Although I loved what I did, I loved it. And it was for me about creative genius.
Mm,
Being able to have the blessing of the sacred relationship between teacher and student. Um, and so that continues for me in terms of being able to teach spiritual classes, in terms of my practitioner work. Yes, I'm emeritus, and I suppose that means that I can kick back and not do a lot of service, but that's not how I'm hardwired. I am wired to use the creative genius of the universe in service to others. And I think that all we do is need look around, and there's always an opportunity to serve.
mhm.
Small ways, large ways in our lives. And the biggest service I can do is to be mindful of who I am at every given moment. Who am I being in this moment? Am I being loving? And if I can bring that loving presence into the world, then I am definitely aligned with the creative genius of the universe.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's just absolutely wonderful. I, for me, allowing has even recently going through some changes in work related things, and just allowing what God has in store for me in that space, and not being in fear of, am I doing this right? Or is
Mm,
it the right thing? Or
mhm.
we question ourselves, don't we?
Huh.
Is this the right place to be for me right now? And I have to say that this new space in my life has just been such a breath of fresh air, and such a wonderful journey. Well, people ask me, how do you like your job so far? And I love my job. I love,
Mhm. Mhm.
I love that I get to share. And a lot of what I do is in my office, I have a lot of affirmative prayers around. And so people, I'm giving them space to see that, I have choose love, choose heaven, choose, all these things around my office. So when you walk in, you're walking into a space that is led by divine, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes, and we get to do that everywhere we go. So I take that from what you said, that we have the ability to continue to serve in any capacity, whatever that might be, and allowing ourselves to be open for that. Correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And those reminders, such as affirmations, are so important. Yeah.
Yes. Do you do an affirmation every day, every morning, every evening? Uh,
Um,
would
yes.
love.
Um, uh, Reverend Mawata and I have 5 children between us and 12 grandchildren.
Oh,
So
God.
as as my mother-in-law, the Venerable Reverend Eloise Oliver, quite well known out here in California, she gave birth to 7 children, and she'd like to say, "Children will always keep you on your knees." Which means they will always keep you in prayer. So they will always keep you in affirmation. So for me, one of the most powerful ones is simply breathing in that I know that each breath is a breath of the divine. I know that I exhale into life the love that is the essence of my being. And so for me, it's an affirmation that reminds me to consciously breathe, and that breath I'm taking is divine. That exhale that I'm giving back to life is love. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Becoming a practitioner was a long journey for me. And
Mm,
I love when I hear any prayer,
mm,
how it flows. And I Ellen was in a prayer one time, and it was just flowing out of her, and it was
mm.
nonstop, and it was energy, and it was beautiful, and it was love. And I go, oh, that's how I want to be able to pray, just like that. That it comes so easily. It seems
Yeah,
it was effortless, but we all have our journey in getting there.
yeah.
I remember that prayer from her. It was so fervent. It was so deep. It was so profound that it
Mm,
brought her to um, to an emotion that was so great. And I love watching those type of prayers and hearing those type of prayers.
yeah,
I love this. Someone just wrote, "Affirm the truth."
yeah.
That's the truth, right? So let's go ahead to our next quote that we have here. If you go ahead and read that one.
Yes. The word you speak is the word of God in action. Do not limit it. Do not weaken it with idle chatter or denial of its power. Stand in the freedom of truth and let your word go forth as the very word of the Almighty. Emma Curtis Hopkins. Hmm.
Favorite teachers, Emma Curtis.
Mhm.
The word you speak is the word of God in action. Isn't
Mm,
that beautiful? Is that
absolutely.
coming up for you?
Yeah, it's a powerful knowing that the words that we speak in and of themselves are a prayer,
Mm.
that they are an active, vibrant life, so that what we speak, and I especially remember this when I'm speaking about myself. If I say I am, and what follows. This is the word of God in action, and I am bringing into manifestation. I am creating my experience of life by the very words that I'm speaking. And so when she says, don't weaken them, don't deny their power, don't limit them, stand in the freedom of truth, so that I am aligning myself with the words that I speak are the words of truth. So spiritual truth, right? And if I find myself off course and I've spoken some words harshly about myself or others or about life, that's all right. Just like a compass corrects our course, allow the spiritual truth of our being to realign ourselves, to bring us back, and now speak a word of truth.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. I know we have a question with this quote. We could go for that. In what areas of your life would speaking from spiritual authority, rather than doubt or limitation, create a meaningful shift? I really would like to put that out there to the audience, the viewers. Definitely answer this question. In what areas of your life would speaking from spiritual authority,
Yes.
rather than doubt or limitation, create a meaningful shift? And how would you like to respond to that?
Every area of my life. I mean, every area of my life. If I'm speaking from spiritual authority, if I am allowing myself to transcend those doubts and those sense of lack and limitation that are an inevitable part of the human condition, the human experience, so that I don't judge those times when I might feel doubt or I might feel some sense of lack or limitation, but that I bring myself back into my spiritual authority. That means that I am realigning with spiritual principle, that I'm looking for the principle within whatever I'm experiencing so that I can know the truth and I can bring myself back to that and speak that word. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. In so many different areas of our lives, we tend to get mechanical about our things, don't we? Instead
Yeah.
of understanding that everything is from God, everything is spiritual, and if we allow that authority to be in that presence of our day to day, whatever that is, in our lives, how much better we would be to
Yeah.
respond to that as well.
Absolutely. It's like the difference between being reactive to life and being responsible. My ability to respond from a centered place. But again, being gentle with ourselves. One of my favorite quotes of Howard Thurman within his moments of high resolve. He says, "I had forgotten how easy it is to forget."
Mm,
And so those reminders, whatever it is that can remind us of the spiritual truth within our lives, is what we want to move into that space so that we can reclaim our spiritual authority.
absolutely. You find yourself in the kind of work I do in health and fitness. You come across individuals who are struggling or having challenges, and when they're at the front desk and they're yelling at you, or in a disagreement about something, you have to really start going within there and just allow them um, to say their truth at that moment and what that is, and accept it and know that that isn't as an attack on you. It's just where they are right there. And you sometimes meeting people where they are, I say that to say this, meeting them where they are is the best place to start in
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah. There's an expression that used to actually activate me, I'll say, which is we're all doing the best we can. But when I think of it from the standpoint that everybody, all of us are operating out of the highest consciousness we have at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And when we know better, we can do better.
Thank
So
you.
it honestly isn't a reflection on me when someone is acting out of that consciousness that may feel uncomfortable to me. It might. But if I judge where they are, then how am I? What consciousness am I bringing if that's what I'm doing in the moment?
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone has their opinion or knows a fact. And I wanted to read what an opinion is. An opinion is a personal belief, viewpoint, or judgment that is subjective and can vary from person to person. Whereas a fact is an objective statement that's supported by evidence and can be verified as either true or false. But the truth is the immutable spiritual truths and principles that we believe are universally valid and unchanging, regardless of the circumstances or the information.
Mm,
So when we talk about our opinions, what are facts and what's the truth, it used to be said there are three truths: their truth, your truth, and the truth.
right.
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 I really love that today was about that. It was about, how we feel about certain things, our opinions about experience,
Mm, mhm.
our viewpoints, and how they can maybe or not align with our spirituality. And then what is a fact? What we see as a fact is, and that's supported by all this evidence sometimes, that we see it as supported by evidence, but may not always be the truth of what we're seeking.
Right, right.
How would you like to add to that?
I think being able to discern between what is my opinion and spiritual truth in particular. I kind of glossed over facts. I'll come back to that in a second. But being able to definitely discern between my opinion, which becomes very visceral for most of us. We hold on to our opinions, voraciously. Like, you're not going to separate me from my opinions. And they aren't necessarily rooted in anything that is resembles what we might even call reality. It's just what I've come to believe, which is why I love the word knowing more so than belief, right? The spiritual truth is grounded, and you can see it in all mystical traditions. When we get past the dogma of, traditional religion, and we can move into a mystical place, then there is one singular truth, that there is a divine existence that is present everywhere if we allow ourselves to see it. And the reason that I sort of bypassed fact is that fact can be a little problematic because it is often enmeshed with opinion. And whatever my opinion is, I believe I have facts to back it. And someone else's opinion, they believe they have facts to back it. And so we just get into this back and forth until the larger question for me is, what I am holding on to, am I willing to let go for the sake of principle? And if I can say yes to that, then I'm moving closer, if not already present, in truth. Am I holding on to something that really does not support life, does not affirm life? You know, um, how can I find myself centered in the knowing of the existence of God being all there is? You know, so I used to do a prayer every morning, which was, God help me to detach from my opinions.
Right?
I don't want them. I don't want them.
That's wonderful. Oh, I love this. Belief is how we be living. It is possible to live without really knowing the truth? Is it?
Mm.
Is it possible? What do you think? That's a great question.
I'm going to say yes.
Mm.
It is possible to live without knowing the truth, especially if we are in what I believe. But here's the thing. Truth doesn't care if you believe in it or not.
Yeah, right.
It just is.
It just is.
It just is, And the reason that this is important for me to know is because I don't ever want to be in a place of judging somebody else's consciousness. They may be living in what appears to be not knowing the spiritual truth. That can be true. And do I have the capacity, the compassion to allow that to be so?
Yes.
And for me, it's part of what guided me and led me to getting my doctorate, in educational leadership for social justice, because I wanted to bring spiritual truth and a deep knowing of love and compassion into that work of social justice change, that it's not being against something, but it's being for something deeply, deeply principled,
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
Mother Teresa who said that, never invite me to um, uh, uh, a war, something against war, but
Yes. Yeah.
peace. Yeah.
An anti-war rally, but I'll go to a peace rally. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes, so true. Words are important, aren't they? I think we have another quote. Oh, there you go. Way ahead of me. Would you like to read this one?
Sure, I will. The facts of our lives are the shifting details, our work, relationships, health, circumstances. Facts change. They rise and fall with time, but the truth never changes. Truth is the eternal reality of who we are, sons and daughters of the divine, expressions of the one life, heirs to the endless possibility. When we live by facts, we react to life. When we live by truth, we rise above it. Facts may change, but the truth of who we are never does. Scott Aubrey, Spiritual Passages.
Oof,
Beautiful.
isn't that wonderful? I love that. I love that last line.
Mhm.
It's, when you live by truth, you rise above it.
Oh, yeah.
Facts to change, but the truth of who we are
Mm,
never does. And
mm.
that resonated with me. What
Yes.
what did it bring out for you?
Yeah, yeah. It brings back that question, who am I being in the moment when I am in the shifting details of life, the relationships, health, all those circumstances, who am I being in that moment? Because, and I love this part of the rising and falling, like the waves of life. And we can be overcome by those waves sometimes, like, inundated by whatever that is. When I can root myself
Mm,
in the knowingness, in the spiritual truth, then it becomes like the depths of the ocean. No matter what's taking place on the surface of my life, it can be a raging storm of details. If I go deep enough, if I become still enough, there is always calm at the depths of the ocean.
mm.
And that's where that truth lies within me, in the depths of my being.
Oh,
Yeah.
love that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. That was beautiful. Is there a question for this one? Yes, there is. Where in your life are you reacting to temporary facts rather than aligning with the unchanging truth of your divine identity?
Mm.
Wonderful question. Where in your life are you
I'm
reacting?
chuckling because you're gonna make me tell on myself right now, Leda.
I'm okay with that. And I love how it says reacting to temporary facts.
All right. Well, I can still find myself reacting to temporary facts when I look with a human eye at the social and political conditions of our country and the world at large. I can find myself reacting to some of those facts, and it is a deep reminder that they are temporary. I love the quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He says, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice."
Amen.
So if I can align myself with the unchanging truth, then I can remind myself of who I am in this moment and who all of life is. These circumstances are, in fact, temporary, and I don't have to react to them. I can set myself once again in principle that God is the all pervasive existence of life. So,
Thank you, Pier Angeli. You have been a joy. I have to say,
thank you.
I really enjoyed this. I'd like to go ahead and move on that note to our affirmations. So, truth is not concerned. Let's read this one. Is not concerned with
Mhm.
perspectives. Our view pointing over all over the place.
Yeah. Truth doesn't care if you believe in it or not.
Doesn't matter, right? It doesn't care. So such a true statement. Thank you so much for that. And if we can go ahead, we're going to start with the affirmations. And you know what? I'm going to let you start it first. So let's go to our first affirmation here.
All right.
Breath.
And as we move into our time of affirmations, let us breathe. Let's draw in a deep breath of life. And exhale with this knowing. It is so that I value the clarity that comes from distinguishing between truth, facts, and opinions.
Mm.
And once again, it is so that I value the clarity that comes from distinguishing between truth, facts, and opinions.
Let's take another deep breath. It is so that I stand in freedom of truth, knowing I am unlimited. Take another deep breath. It is so that I stand in freedom of truth, knowing I am unlimited.
Mm.
Mm.
Breathe with me. It is so that I begin my day with a heart wide open to magical moments. Take a deep breath. It is so that I begin my day with a heart wide open to magical moments.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Now it is.
And now it is.
Oh, wow. This has just been so wonderful. Pierre, would you please do a closing, not a closing, a message, ground the message for us? And I'll just let you do that part right now. Thank you so much.
A message or a prayer.
Prayer treatment.
A prayer treatment, yes. Joining together this moment, I speak this word of truth in first person and in present tense, inviting everyone within the sound of my voice to know that what I say for myself, I say for all. For truly, I know there is one life. There is one divine existence, one creative power in the universe, one indomitable spirit that has breathed its very life as the breath of all living beings. And so I know that my life, my breath, is a witness to the fact that I am an emanation of the divine presence, and that this is the truth of all life everywhere. That the beating of my heart is in synchronicity with the rhythm and the flow of all life. That everyone is living and loving and lifing as the presence of God. And that no matter what has ever taken place in our lives, no matter what has ever been said or done, the truth is that there is a place within us that is untouched, that is living its existence in the calm presence of peace, of joy, of love, of abundance, of compassion, of health and prosperity. That these are the truths of life itself, and that I clear from my mind, I clear from my pathway, I clear all old habits, old thoughts, all old remembrances that may seem to limit my knowing that I am one with the divine, one with truth. And I stand in this knowing. I embrace it. I allow this truth to overwhelm my life in ways that allow me to continue to spiral upwards into the place of the perfect manifestation of who I am meant to be. And this truth is the truth of all living beings. And I am grateful for this. I'm grateful for this time together. I am grateful for this singular point of connection in a life that is infinitely filled with the possibilities of connections and noticing the blessings of life at all times. How grateful am I? How thankful am I? And in this gratitude, in this thanksgiving, I surrender this word. I release this prayer to the immutable law of perfect manifestation. And I trust in its life-giving manifestation as the word has been spoken, in one resounding voice of truth and deep knowing. I declare, and so it is, and now it is.
Thank you so much. And
Thank
I'd like
you.
to bring Ellen back in. She's going to share a little bit about our prayer again and also our abundance. Ellen,
Yes.
in.
Wow. What an amazing way of set the message, to ground the message. That was a powerful prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Like Leda, I love prayer. I could not live without prayer. Prayer is what I do. Prayer is how I live life. And I know the power of it. So because I know the power of it, I like to invite you to know that here at One Love Center, we have prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is full of power, charged, and already within you for your immediate use. So please use us. Use us. It's not costing you anything. The only thing that is going to cost you is release the situation or condition that you might be experiencing and that you would like to shift. Remember to reach out to us via email. You can send us an email requesting your prayers at onelovecenter.org. And remember, we pray for that situation and condition for 7 days. If the condition change, let us know. If it didn't change and you would like us to continue to pray for that situation or condition, please reach back to us. Otherwise, we will stop praying for that condition. And if everything is flowing so beautifully in your life, that means that you can still reach out, because we want to make sure that you stay in that flow. Okay, so reach out and take advantage of what we offer, the power of prayer, as you have heard it here. Also, we like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of you who continuously send your donations to One Love Center. That I am thinking that you feel called to share your abundance, your prosperity, because here at One Love Center, you get spiritually fed. And so because of your donation, that's the only way, that's one of the ways that we continue to do what we do. So you can start doing that now. You can start and send your donations now, or before we finish, or throughout the day, the week. And you can, remember, you can send even if it's $1. What matters is, remember, that you're coming from a place of abundance, a place of knowing that you are abundance, that you are prosperity, that money is flowing in your life. And I don't know how it happens, but it does work. Okay, that's what I know. So send your donations, and all you have to do is go to PayPal, go to our website. You can click on the donate button, and it's going to take you throughout the PayPal process. You can actually, on your PayPal, you can make it that it is sent automatically from your account of PayPal on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, whatever you want, the amount that you want, and you can always update it. You can also use the Cash Me app, which is really quick. Our symbol for Cash Me Up is money sign One Love CSL. That is the symbol for our Cash App. And on our website, you can also, if you're still using checks, you can still send checks. The address, you'll find it in our website as well, at onelovecenter.org. And now we're ready to do our affirmation for abundance. Bring your hand to your heart. Align yourself with that energy of heart love. And repeat after me. Money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. As I share my gifts, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gifts, more money, and more good. I am grateful for the ability to give. I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good works that this gives do in our center and in our world. And now it is, and so it is. Ashe, amen. Thank you for your giving. And now we bring Leda back.
Hello. Thank you so much, Ellen. Thank you for your giving. It's always wonderful to receive. And as you give, you also receive. Thank you, Ellen, for that. And so we are coming up to some announcements that we have. Let's see. Tech support. As you know, we are looking for, One Love is requesting a member for technical assistance and, in helping us with our broadcast. We really would like to have someone who can help us out on Sundays. Please contact us at onelovecenter.org. If you would love to be of service, we would love to have you. Bless you, and thank you. Our next announcement is, let's see. I know that I wanted to share a little bit about the subscribing to our Science of Mind magazine. This is a wonderful way to follow us in our Sunday, but also throughout the week, having affirmations and wonderful stories. I really enjoy every day reading this magazine. Every morning I get up and I get to read what the message is for the day. But if you would like to know more about subscribing to this, members of One Love receive 6 months free. So please reach out to us, go to our website and email us, join our emailing list, and you'll get more information about obtaining that Science of Mind magazine. Thank you so much. All right, next we have Ellen Suazo has a special event. I think she has put that in there as well. Let's see. What if you chose to join Ellen Suazo, our religious science practitioner, on her upcoming destination retreat? You're invited to be a part of this beautiful adventure, semi-private island in Bizota, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. You're going to see me there. It's going to be a really exciting time. I hope that you can come out there and join us all, reconnect with your essence, rest deeply and expand community, learn more, and reserve your spot. This is the link that you want to use. And I think we can also put that same link in our chat as well, in our comments. But it's destination retreat .4consciousliving.com. Please join us. This will be a very memorable time, and we'd love to have you there. It's going to be amazing. Thank you so much. And now we have our next bringing back Pier Angeli, and just get some final words before we have our song.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've really, truly enjoyed being with you today. It's just been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for being a part of this, part of this service. Thank you.
Well, I just want to say thank you. I am so deeply grateful for this experience today and getting to share this time with you. What a beautiful anchoring to center ourselves in truth, and what a wonderful day to carry this forward into our lives. And I want to express deep gratitude to you, Leda. It has been an honor to be with you. So to Leda Perez, to Ellen Suazo, and to Reverend Rodney Giddens, as well as the entire community of One Love Center for Spiritual Living. it's just been so, I'm very honored and just so grateful. I feel so happy. I'm doing my happy dance over here on the West Coast. So it just occurred to me that we're just anchoring. We just crossed the entire country with love, anchoring from San Francisco to New York. We have anchored love and truth today. And what an honor that has been.
Thank you so much for that. That was wonderful. I'd really like to bring Ellen and Reverend Rodney in here because this has just been amazing. And I want to share that wonderful love that you share. So Reverend Rodney, get in here. Ellen, get in here.
Come on in.
I was thinking the West Coast, East Coast, and I'm in Central America. I'm in Central America.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. That's great.
We anchor all angles.
We got the world covered here today.
We do. And I'm
200%.
Beautiful spirit. Yeah. They are amazing. They make this opportunity for us to do things. Reverend Rodney has been such a blessing in my life. Thank you. Thank you, Ellen. And of course, Pier Angeli. So we're going to go ahead and have some music that Reverend Rodney picked out especially for us.
Perfect.
Then we'll come back and say our adieu. All right?
Right.
All right.
But first, we're going to have Pier Angeli and Leda Perez do a wonderful benediction.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's take
go ahead and do that.
Oh, let's take a deep breath and go within, shall we? Oh, this has just been so amazing. I recognize the one life, the one presence, one infinite presence that is the unchanging truth behind all things. Oh, I know this truth is love, it's wisdom, it's wholeness, and it's expressing through each and every one of us right here, right now. And today we honor our human journey, our opinions shaped by experience, or our facts that guide us, and the higher truth that is eternal and unshakable. And while opinion shifts and facts evolve, I will say that the truth I know of who we are, divine expressions of the one, remain constant. I affirm that we grow in clarity and understanding. And I'm allowing our awareness of truth to deepen our consciousness, that it expands. We stand rooted in what is real, that we are guided and supported, and one with spirit. So with gratitude for this knowing, for our growth, for this beloved community, I release this word into law, knowing and trusting its perfect fulfillment. I know that this is true. It is true. And so it is, and now it is.
And so it is, and now it is.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And now for our song.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day. You've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say.
Wonderful. Oh, I love that song. That was the best selection ever. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Angeli. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
See you again soon, I hope.
Many blessings to you all. Yeah.
Have a great day. Goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you next
Bye-bye.
Sunday.